Howdy folks, logging in here to make sure I've got all of my technological stuff going on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday night and it is time to thrive. It is time to dance, it is time to connect, it is time to find joy, and it is time to thrive. I love it. I've got people logging in on Zoom for our nightly or every Saturday night. We have a dance party all together, people from my studio here in Houston, my students here in Houston, as well as folks from my Teachable Tribe, from my Teachable Studio from all over the world. I love it because this is an amazing opportunity for us to get together, to connect, to sweat, to have some fun. And I find if you're a dancer or into an artistic approach of any sort, that the arts are what are keeping me going these days. And I think it's a wonderful way for us to continue to find ways to express ourselves, to feel joy, and to connect with other fabulous people while we are required to be socially isolating, right? In this time of increased social isolation, I feel like we need our online communities even more, because just because we are separated does not mean we can't be together in other ways. So it is now just 7 o'clock right now, so I'm gonna give people just a couple of more minutes to jump on. If you are already here on the Facebook Live, and if you are already here on the Zoom, feel free to type in the chat where you are logging in from, because I love to see where people are coming from. We are here in Houston, Texas. It was a beautiful day. They were saying it was gonna storm all day long, and it didn't until my family and I went out for a walk. And then it stormed on us for just a few minutes. So type in the chat where you are coming from tonight so that I know where you are at. And in just a couple of minutes, we will start our conversation. It looks like I got it set up for this, right this time. My husband's here to make sure I'm not gonna blow up anything with all this technology. But I think we're doing good. We're doing good. Awesome, so this is officially our 30 to Thrive, 30 minutes to connection, joy, and dance, coming at you on Facebook every single Saturday, usually 7 p.m., but sometimes we'll do like a 10 a.m. so we can catch all of our dancer friends over in Europe. And then every single Tuesday, if you are also on Instagram, I'm coming at you live at 2 p.m. on Instagram Live for another 30 to Thrive. And the whole reason that I started doing these regular live appearances is because I felt the need to take action. Right, like there was a point about a month ago now, it's crazy to think that it's been a month, where I was looking forward and looking and imagining what life was going to be like as everything was canceled and school was let out and things started shutting down. And I thought, this could be really, really bad. Hey Robin, Mwah, good to see you. I thought this could be really bad. Or I can take this opportunity to bring something positive of the situation, right? I can use this time to mourn the things that are temporarily lost and to feel bad about the places I can't be and to focus on what I no longer have for now. Or I can use this time to really get back to the basics, to really start to enjoy the smaller things, being at home with my family, home-cooked meals every night, walks around the neighborhood. And it's been like a really forceful pause on this crazy life as I knew it. I'm one of these like constantly go, go, go and do people. And so I saw this going downhill quickly and I had to do something. Hi, Vicky from Alabama. Nice for joining. Thank you for joining us tonight. So this is what came of it. I said, what can I do to continue to give back, to continue to connect with my students, with my friends, and to find a way to foster community in the midst of separation, right? In the midst of physical separation. So this is it, 30 to Thrive. And you are here, and I am so excited. This is the third official 30 to Thrive episode, installment. I don't even know what to call it yet. Anyway, if you've got a good name for it, let me know. But this is our third one. We did one on Tuesday, back on Instagram, and we talked about all the importance of your morning routine. From Mexico, hola! Mucho gusto, gracias por venir. This is awesome. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Renu, for coming in. So we talked on Tuesday about importance of morning routine. We talked last Saturday, for those of you who were here on Facebook, we talked about doing one thing every day that moves your needle forward, right? Which was huge, thinking about one thing every day that you do for yourself that moves your life one step further in the path towards the goals that you have made. Just because things are on this weird temporary hold does not mean we stop making plans, right? keep making plans, keep building the life that you love, and maybe use, if you are a person who is perhaps blessed with some extra time these days, maybe use that time to continue to build, to really build out the areas you don't normally get the chance to build. So before we dive into this week's topic, I just want to thank you for being here. I know that there's a lot of different stuff going on the internet these days, which is so awesome. So I am thrilled that you decided to spend some time with me. And I also want to thank anyone out there who is a frontline worker, anyone who's working in healthcare, who is working with the sick. Thank you. Just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my family's heart for doing what you do and being who you are. Wendy, hello from Missouri. Good to see you. Glad that you made it. Awesome. So today, let me grab my little notes because I'm a notes kind of girl. Today, we are going to talk about how to deal with negative thoughts, because this is something that has come up a lot recently when I talk to my friends, right? We have these great sessions where we just kind of throw it all out there, and because we're friends, we love each other no matter what. But we have a lot of thoughts going on in our mind, sort of tumultuous thoughts, and a lot of thoughts that perhaps aren't the most positive things, because there is a lot of fear, there is a lot of worry, there is a lot of unknown. And I think this is a big item here, is the unknown. Hello from Vancouver, Canada, Ruth. I'm so glad that you're here. Mwah! So I think that the unknown instills in us a lot of fear, and fear generates a lot of negative thoughts. So today we're going to talk about how do we deal with negative thoughts? How do we work with this crazy brain in our head to help get it out of lizard mode and deal with our thoughts in a more productive way? Some of the ideas that I have for you here today were totally culled from a great talk I listened to this past week from Rise Up World. I have mentioned it before. I will mention it again, riseupworld.com. I think we are now on day 13 of 20, so there's still plenty of time to jump in to this fantastic free seminar resource every single day from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Houston time, Central Time. They are going live with a number of motivational speakers, and I have found great value in it, and it's totally free. So I recommend you check it out if you like this kind of, sort of heart and soul searching work, which I love. I love this kind of stuff. I've been studying the science of happiness for years and years, and I feel like a lot of what I've learned I am using every day now. Yes? So today we're talking about how to deal with negative thoughts. And if you are here, I want you to type in the chat, feel free to just give me a raised hand or a little heart if you have perhaps had a negative thought or two over the last 4 weeks. Yeah, like me, maybe a couple of times, me, right? And I think that's totally normal and natural on a regular day, and certainly during a pandemic day, it's normal and natural as well. And I think how we deal with those thoughts means everything to how we move through them, whether or not we allow them to control us, and how we funnel our energy, right? So here is the process. There's lots of different ways to deal with things, but here's the process that I'm currently going through, and what I am going to share with you in hopes that it helps you in some way. So how you deal with your negative thoughts. I would like you today to, and if you're willing to share, or if you're not, grab a piece of paper and an old-fashioned pen and write down your thought. Write down your negative thought, because I think sometimes putting it into words is very helpful. Sometimes for me, the minute I put it into words, I realize how stupid, honestly, my thought is, or I realize how unrealistic or how untrue my thought is. And sometimes it just allows me to really put words to what my worry is, because a lot of times we just have a lot of low-grade worry and no particular knowledge as to why we might be having that. So I'd like you to take a moment to think about it, and perhaps you've had more than one negative thought over the last 4 weeks, yeah, and that's okay too, right? I'd like you to either now, if you have a pen and paper nearby, type it in the chat if you are willing to share, or please do it before you go to bed tonight. What is this negative thought? Is it, I am afraid I'm going to run out of money? I am afraid I or someone I love is going to get sick. I am afraid the economy will never bounce back. I am afraid I will lose my house. I am worried about XYZ. Write it down so you know what it is, because sometimes you're worried just because there's so much bad news and general like worry in our atmosphere, it's easy to just absorb that without having a particular reason why. Once you have identified said thought or thoughts and you have written them down, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I know this to be true? So now if you've worded your thought as, I'm afraid I might lose my house, you make it something concrete. I am going to lose my house because of this. Do you know this to be true? Are you totally sure that this is true? Or is this something that our lizard brain has made up in our ever-present search for lions on the horizon, right? So we have very many parts of our brain, but there's a part, I call it the lizard part, because I think it's the oldest part of our brain, that is constantly looking for threats in our environment. And back when our threat was lion on the horizon, that part of our brain was super, super useful. And I'm not saying it's not useful anymore, but I'm saying its vigilance is a little bit too high for my personal taste. Right? And I think I shared with some of you several weeks ago talking about how I have this terrible habit of waking up in the morning and scanning my day for the least desirable thing in my day, latching onto it and then feeling bad about it. And then worrying about it all day long. Even though I have 100,000 great things, I've got this one thing I don't want to do, and that's what I'm going to think about, and that is my lizard brain. I love it. Fear. Stephen, oh my gosh, good to see you. Face everything and recover. I love this. So he says fear stands for face everything and recover. The amygdala, is that the lizard part? I should probably call it by its real name, yeah, amygdala, or the lizard part of our brain, right? And that's the you know, the more primitive, you know, part of us just looking for our survival. But I think sometimes we need to recognize it's there. You guys are glowing. You'll have to see this. I will move my camera in a minute so that you can see people who are all LED'd up for the party tonight, for the dance party that comes after this. So it's looking for the things that are a threat to us, and I think sometimes we have to recognize that it might be an overdrive, especially in times like this, right? And so recognize that and see that if that thought is not true, does it serve you to worry about it, right? Does it serve you to think about it? So the next step, so you've thought about your negative thought, now you've thought about this problem, you've written it down, so you've put it into words, and now you have said, do I know this to be true? A lot of times for me, 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. It is something I've invented, and it is something that I am worried about because I've invented this potential reality, right? So if I feel like we're going through like a diagram, now we're going down. If your answer is no, it's not actually true. How do you feel when you have this thought? Most likely, pretty yucky, if I'm going to keep this PG for all the kids around. Yeah, you probably feel pretty bad, right? It's not a thought that is bringing you joy or serving you in any way. How would you feel if you didn't have this thought? How would you feel if you could let go of that idea, especially if you know it is not true? In this moment, I have my house. It is not true that I'm going to lose it. Like there's, you know, this is not totally true. I'm thinking of it as a potential worst case scenario, right? So think about that. How would you feel if you didn't have it? And if you imagine like a sigh of relief and a weight off your shoulders, can you work with this brain between your ears to help control the thoughts that are in your head? Because yeah, our brain goes a lot without our permission. Mine does anyway, a lot. But like when I really step back and look at it critically and say, well, wait a minute. Like what I'm doing here is irrational, and fear is often irrational, and the unknown causes us to have irrational fears that then we worry about as though they were true, right? Now, how would you feel if you didn't have that thought? Can you get to that point? Now, if for some reason maybe your negative thought and your fear is totally true, and it is the reality, I love you too, my love, and it is the reality, then what do you do? And this is where I go to is this place of, is there something I can do about it? And if there is, great. I do not have to worry because there is something I can do. Is there something I can do about it? If the answer is no, less great, but there is no point in worrying because there's nothing I can do. Right? So I think this is like the classic God grant me the grace. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to think of the phrase, but like it's basically knowing the difference between the things that you can control, the things that you can't control, and the power to tell the two apart, right? Worry never serves us, but what it can lead you to is positive action. And if you can take that worry and funnel it into positive action and say, I am worried about losing my house because I've lost my job, so my positive action is to contact my mortgage provider and see if we can get some extra time to pay mortgage, which a lot of mortgage providers are doing, right? So don't sit in worry and fret. Find a way to take action. And one other kind of interesting, I feel like I'm going down this noodly part of my brain. I heard another really fantastic just sort of concept the other day, once again from this Rise Up world. The real problem comes in the not knowing. When we don't know, we're in this state of limbo, in this state of worry that comes from being in limbo and you don't know what to do because you don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like that's been the last 4 weeks of my life. You don't know what you're going to do because you don't know what's going to happen, and it's changing day by day. And the minute something happens, like schools are closed. Okay, great, schools are closed. I know schools are closed. Now I'm going to start, making my homeschooling plan because I know. And so there's almost like a sense of relief in knowing, even if it's a negative outcome, you know what's happening so you can take action in that knowing. And sometimes I find we have to just make the decision so that we can take the action. So don't allow the limbo of the world to always hold you back waiting for an answer, because we don't know when the answers are coming, right? And so I know right here in Texas, I hear they might be opening things back up on Monday to see, to slowly allow people to go out and go shopping. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not even waiting to hear that. We're not going anywhere, right? I have decided this is what's safest and best for me and my family. So instead of being worried, maybe I can go to the store next week, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I've just decided, regardless of what, decision is made at management level, this is what I'm doing for me and my family, right? And so I think that gives you power. That gives you power. Emma, I love this. Recognize it as one thought amongst many, and you have a choice over whether you entertain it or not. Absolutely. If you can do something to mitigate the worry, go for it. If there's nothing you can do, then worry is a poor use of imagination. I love that. If there's nothing you can do, worry is a poor use of imagination and resources, right? And brain power and energy. Right? What else could you channel that energy into right now that will serve you, serve your family, serve your community, serve your business, serve those around you? Worry does us no good. It's very easy to end up there and it's very easy to stay there, but it does us no good, right? So if it's something you can take control of, if it's something where you can take decisive action, awesome. Whether it's to change the situation or most likely in this case, to change your mind, which you always have power over. You always have the power to change your mind. If you can do that, do it. Go for it. Take it and change your mind, because that is gigantic power in and of itself. You have that control in your mindset, and your perspective changes everything. But if it's something you have no control over, right, worry does not serve you. It does not serve others. And so don't worry. Don't worry, be happy, right? So, it sounds all very trite, but it's true. And the other thought that I heard that I thought was brilliant, because we all talk about thinking positively. And I always say, mind over matter, and I'm just going to, think positive and hope for the best. And that also sounds a little trite. And I know right now a lot of people are probably rolling their eyes at me and being like, yeah, no, easy for you to think positive. It's not about thinking positively. It's about thinking, what is the phrase that they use? It's not about thinking positively. It's thinking accurately, right? So it's not about making up some rosy colored reality and just wishing it to be true. It's about looking at the worries and the fears you've created in your head and looking them straight in the eye and deciding if they're actually accurate or not. And a lot of times they're not. So why would you continue to injure yourself that way if it does not serve you, right? So, any thoughts there, you guys? Is any of this helpful to you? Can you see a way that you can apply this to a negative thought that maybe you've been having to help either alleviate some worry or give you insight into action you can take to help relieve a bit of the unknown, right? So if you have something that you think you can use this for, hit a like, send me a heart, something. Let me know that you're there. Let me know that this is making sense, because my primary goal here is to give you a little bit of the joy and peace that I have found using these same ideas and thinking through this kind of stuff in the last few days. So before we dance, because now we will dance. If you want to join our Zoom dance party, this might be the opportunity I have to like turn around here and see if I can show you these crazy, oh my gosh, can I do this? Let's see if I turn this around. You can see all these crazy Zoom people over here. I've got these Zoom people logging in. Today we actually have a theme, it's masquerade. Show me your LEDs, girls. We got the LED fairy wings, the LED hula hoops, the LED crowns. We've got these amazing, oh my goodness. Is that you, Laura? I don't even recognize you. And people are coming in masks. Someone had, I think it was Laura's idea. She had a brilliant idea last week. She's like, let's go ahead and have themes for our dance party. So this week it is masquerade theme. I have this great Venetian mask from Venice that I will be wearing tonight until I get too sweaty and I have to take it off. So if you'd like to join us, it's totally free to join the Zoom party that happens every Saturday. You just have to be a member on my online studio, SahiraBellyDances.teachable.com. Just go there and make a free account, and then you go over here on Facebook and you find Sahira Teachable Tribe and you join us there. And I always post the link every Saturday, and I typically on Friday start asking for music requests. We have a great lineup of music tonight because of these fabulous people over here. So that's how you join us there. Also, if you're interested in the conference that I told you that's going on virtually, riseupworld.com. And if you want to dance more and get more, belly dance in your life these days, I'm finding that I really just want to be in my studio recording content all the time. I'm doing a special this month where it's just $19 for everything in my online studio. Hundreds and hundreds of hours. You could dance all day long if you wanted, and that's just SahiraBellyDances.com/thrive if you want to join me there. So now let's belly dance. I'm going to move my chair here. If you can make a little room for yourself, let's see what we can do. Today I thought we would work on arms. So we're going to do a little bit of like a few little arm movements, not necessarily a combination, but a few little arm movements here. Let me make sure that all my Zoom people can see me too. And then we'll put it to some music so that you have a little bit of movement, because moving every day is a non-negotiable for me. And I think that if you can find a way, be it belly dance or walking or jogging or yoga or whatever, jumping around your room, your living room with your family, which I do that quite a bit, all very, very useful. So let's just take a deep breath up. And for the next 10 minutes, just be totally present in your body. Take your arms, push them down through space like you're pushing through something heavy, and we're going to push them up through space the same way, pushing them up through space, engaging every single muscle in your arm like you're pushing up 50-pound weights on both sides, bringing them back down to the sides, engaging all your muscles, and then rolling the shoulders back and back and back. Excellent. As you roll them back, think pushing them down and down. Excellent. And down. And down. Now we're going to take one arm and we're going to think shoulder lifts, elbow lifts, wrist lifts, fingers trail behind. Now we'll pull down, shoulder pulls down, elbow pulls down, wrist pulls down, fingers trail behind. It's like I'm painting a door frame on the inside and my hand is the paintbrush. Once I get to shoulder level, I'm going to push back down. Now I want you to imagine you're using every single muscle in your hand as you do this, pushing through chocolate syrup, because I haven't had any dessert tonight and I desperately want some. Shoulder and elbow and wrist. Let's try the other arm. So we're pulling up, shoulder pulls, elbow. Oh, my daughter has chocolate. You're gonna share with me? Pull down with the shoulder and elbow and wrist. Good. And so when I pull up with the shoulder, I'm engaging, lifting. Elbow lifts straight up, wrists and fingers go last as they sort of come up and over the wave. Good. Let's do it one more time like you're pushing through something else that might be really delicious, caramel maybe, and take it down. I must be hungry. Take it down. Good. Now let's do one and the other here and push it down. Other side and push it down. Imagine engaging all the muscles in your arm so that you get a great workout, and it makes your movement look so much more intense and so much more on purpose and much more strong. Yeah, excellent. So now let's take it up over the head, same idea. So taking it from slightly up over the head down to shoulder level, but same thing, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers drag behind, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Good. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Beautiful. This looks amazing. I can see my Zoom dancers. You all look amazing. Yes. And shoulder, elbow, wrist. Let's do that one more time each side. And now bring it in front. Same idea, but we're taking in front and down. And now I'm thinking about rolling a little bit. Yeah, if you can see my shoulders are rolling. And shoulder, elbow, wrist. So roll, roll, and let that wave continue to trickle down the hand. Beautiful. Fingers are always that last thing to delicately belly dance finger, right? Middle finger slightly dropped. Thumb slightly in. Beautiful. Now we're going to do one more little arm movement. I like to call it the Vogue Box. My belly dance teacher, my belly dance mama, Shakira Masood Ali, taught me this one. Belly dance box, yeah? So you're creating this box with your hands. You've got a nice strong 90-degree angle in the wrist, one palm down, one palm up, and then you're going to switch that as your arms slightly circle around each other. Whichever direction you'd like to do is cool by me. Yes, same rules apply here that we're pushing through something heavy. Yeah, so it could be done very easily, but we're going to think about really muscling through. Gorgeous, yes. We're going shoulder, yeah, no shoulders. We're doing elbows, elbows and wrists. Elbows and wrists, beautiful. Let's take it a little faster, now a little less muscle, and make it like it's floating. And you can add a little plie down, and coming back up, gorgeous. And plie down, and coming back up. So I'm doing a little quick, quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow. Beautiful. Let's do it one more time. Now, if you wanted to take this, you could take it up over your head. Same idea, but I'm like putting on my tika and caressing my cheek as I come back down. So it feels like it comes out of that box, but we're going to expand the range. Yes. Yes, you got it. Nice. Same thing here. You can extend one leg and give it a slightly different feel. You can lean back in the upper body, lifting the chest. Yes. Gorgeous. So we're going to use those ideas, those little mini snake arms, or sometimes I call them butterfly arms because they're teeny tiny, our Vogue Box, our Tika hairbrush. I'm going to put on some music actually by Istampita, which is an early music and medieval ensemble that I play with here in Houston at the Texas Renaissance Festival. I'm going to put on one of their songs from their more Sephardic line of music, and we are going to dance to that. Here we go. This is called El Rey de Francia from Istampita. All right. Here we go. You can take it a little faster, a little slower. Into our Vogue Box, little plie. Feel free to add body movement if you would like. Whatever feels good to you. Right around my head. And arms to the front, little shoulder circles. Beautiful. I could tell. I could tell. So everybody, that concludes our 30 to Thrive for today. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for dancing with me. You all are incredible as well. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in and for being here with me. I know there's 1,000,001 live things online that you can do right now, which is so exciting. So take advantage of this time if you do have time to spare. If you are one of the people who is out now working harder than ever to help keep us safe, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the work that you do. If you enjoyed this, let's do it again next week. I think next week we'll do it at 7 p.m. again, Central Time. Same format. If you'd like to join in our big belly dance party, just be sure to go to sahirabellydances.teachable.com and then join my Sahira Teachable Tribe on Facebook, or send me an email and I'll get you all set up to join us for a future Zoom party, which I'm heading over to right now because there's all these amazing people with masks on and LED lights and disco lights and stuff. So I'm ready, ladies. And we're celebrating Alicia's birthday. Happy birthday, Alicia. So excited. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you being here. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or requests for future online belly dance courses, either here on Facebook or on my online studio, just let me know. I want to be sure to help provide you what you need to continue to have joy and to thrive through these next few weeks while we are apart until we can be together again. You all take care. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Mwah, mwah. Thank you all so much. You have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon.